Genetics based problem 13. In this problem, there is a disease. The name of the disease is achondroplasia. This disease is in the form of dwarfism. We usually see the people with this disease, they are dwarf, mean they have short height. This disease is inherited in the humans in the form of dominant condition. So disease is inherited in the form of dominant condition. Two dwarf individuals, both they belong that their one of the parent has normal height. There are two dwarf people who want to marry with each other, but one of the parents of both dwarf individual has normal height. They marry and they plan to have a child. So their first child is born and is dwarf. So this is the statement that first child was born to a couple and both the individuals, they were dwarf. So what would be the probability that this child is heterozygous? So we have to tell that whether this child is homozygous or heterozygous, and if the child is heterozygous, we have to tell the probability or the percentage. Based on the statement, because the disease is due to a dominant allele, it was mentioned during the statement that it is a dominant disease. So two dwarf parents can either be homozygous dominant or they can be heterozygous dominant. Because disease is due to a dominant allele, so they can be homozygous dominant and they can be heterozygous dominant. First we have to identify whether the parents, they are homozygous dominant or they are heterozygous dominant. So based on additional information which was provided in the statement that these dwarf individuals, they have a parent that has normal height, and if there is a normal height of one of the parent, it means the genotype of the parent should be small d and small d. So they would have both recessive alleles. So because one of the parent is with normal height, so in that parent, that can be father, that can be mother, that have both recessive alleles. So if the both are recessive alleles, then it means we can conclude that these parents, father and mother, they are heterozygous. They are not homozygous, because due to the recessiveness of one of the parents, these individual, the male and the female, they would be heterozygous, dominant, but they are heterozygous. So we have concluded that the parents, both the parents, they are heterozygous. So based on this information, we can say that 2/3 of the children which are dominant to this disease, they will be heterozygous. How we can answer to this question? We will draw a Punnett square and try to predict the ratios. How? Because we have concluded that both parents, they are heterozygous. This is parent 1 who is heterozygous. These are the gametes. This is the gametes of parent 2. If we draw the Punnett square, then we will come to know that as a result, there are 3 individuals that has dominant allele. This individual, and this individual. So out of 3 individuals who has dominant allele, there are 2 individuals who are heterozygous. This individual is homozygous, dominant but homozygous. But these 2 individuals, they are dominant but they are heterozygous. So we can say that 2/3 of the dominant would be heterozygous. So as a result, we can conclude that there will be 3:1 ratio. 3 would be the dwarf and 1 would be the normal individual. So 3 are dwarf individuals, and out of 3, if we have to tell the probability of the heterozygosity, so that will be 2/3. Out of 3, 2 individuals would be heterozygous for this disease.